As Albert Einstein said, creativity is intelligence having fun. I'm Dia and I went to study art and design at Central St. Martin's in London. That's where I discovered my passion for photography and continued to study photography at the Parsons School of Design in New York. I had the opportunity at this time to play around with various fields in photography, whether it was from still life, photojournalism, fashion, and even some documentary photography. After my education, I moved back to Mumbai, and as the city itself suggests, it was full of advertising, fashion, and Bollywood. That's where I got my first job, and I got to photograph the behind the scenes at Fashion Week. It was a very interesting adventure for me, as it was a time where I photographed various narratives in film. I used film photography for this, and this was the time where I really discovered how to tell narratives. After a few years of working with various photographers, working on various projects, as well as working on a few advertising and editorial work myself, I decided to work more closely with the staged image. The idea of objectifying and telling stories was what I had come from, and that's what led me to my first body of work as fine art. This is a series of works I did called Hotel Dreamland. Hotels for me have always been very fascinating spaces. They're spaces where you kind of are full of fantasy and are full of new discoveries because you disconnect from the real reality which you live in. They always encompass you into a world of your own and begin to relate different experiences. After this series, I did a series called Film Stills. I'm not sure if you've noticed already, but all the women in the images are mannequins. None of them are real. As you know, the femme fatale comes from the film world, and we've all been subjected to these images. Whether it's through media, movies, or through life itself, we always feel that women are glorified, and we see these very strong images of women. My next series is called Chimera. This series kind of made me re-look at the reason why I was taking photographs. Originally in the 1800s, photographs were taken in film. And even before film, they were taken on glass plates known as daguerreotypes. This is when there was a real shift from painting to documenting through images. It was only in the late 1800s where we really realized that you could actually make film and send it into Kodak and have them as a consumerist society. Earlier, it was just taken as a board to be able to draw something into a reality. This was the time I kind of went back and rediscovered how the portrait started and how we were all documenting our realities. The films and the images that you got over 100 years ago were very valuable. There was only one image if you taken potentially in a studio, and these were very treasured for years to come. I'm sure you have all seen old photographs from film and which have been hand-printed in the darkroom. Today we live in a very different reality. We live in the world of digital. As you all know, we are all facing the transition between reality and perception. Or is it the perception we're really living in, or is it the reality? This brings me to the body of work that I'm showing at the Biennale, the constructed image. After staging my photographs, I dwelled deeper into what was I really creating. This was also a very pivotal time in my life as I got married and I moved from Mumbai to Hyderabad. As you know, most cities are the same, but they still have a different kind of strangeness and a different kind of sensibility that you begin to experience. I moved to a new city very excited to live new experiences with new people and create new relationships. This was a time when I realized that most of my experiences, whether public, private, or secret, often reflected on experiences that I had before, but they felt almost different but yet familiar in a strange way. This is a set I have created which is on view at Aspinwall. But just to tell you a little bit, it's been created from recycled paper. It has over 3,500 wall tiles, and each wall tile has around 350 rolls of paper. The floor has 242 tiles and the ceiling 138, and everything you see has been constructed from paper. So the raw materials I use in my studio is a bunch of old magazines. I've been very fortunate that a lot of people today are shifting between the realm of reading in print and to digital. And once they have read all the old issues, they send it over to me at my studio. This is where I go through all the magazines and look for the colors that I need. I start looking for various colors on various spaces that I find strange yet familiar, and spaces that interest me, where you have repetitive experiences, but they're not really always the same. After I receive the magazines, I start finding the colors I require and I make rolls. If you look closely, all the shades of blue are different, very slightly different, but they all feel the same at a glance. If you look at the white, they're all different based on the text or the stories that they're telling, but yet again, they all feel the same. This to me is a reflection of all my experiences that I have, whether public, private, or secret. They're all different, but somewhere they all feel the same. But what is it that we're really looking for? I'm constantly questioning whether we're looking for the real experience or the moment itself. I go on to create thousands of roles that build together my images. And this is when I really begin to contemplate as to all the various experiences I've had is who I have been made today. And a lot of times when we meet people or we interact with life in itself, it's always the smaller moments that really live within us, and it's the larger things we're waiting for. But you always dismiss the journey to get there. This is a blue tile I created. Like I said earlier, it's the same, but it's yet different. I spent over 15 months creating this one image. And it's a very interesting and meditative process for me. To some people it sounds crazy, but I think it's really what got me into living in Hyderabad and really making that city my own. Because it was all the time I spent with myself that really made me realize what was the importance of change and what was the importance of moving places. The other works I've made are all reflections upon large public spaces where you only have personal experiences. They're all spaces where all of us today interact with on a day-to-day basis, or if not on a day-to-day basis, on a very familiar basis, such as a bookstore. The bookstore is where we've all been to. Today I know we buy books on Amazon, but the days that you did go to the bookstores, you used to spend a lot of time touching, feeling, and looking for various titles that attracted you, authors you'd read before, books that your friends told you to read about. But each person leaves with a different book, and this is what really interests me. It's about how every individual has its own experiences that build their decisions today and help us take us forward. The next space is a waiting room. It's a clinical waiting room, which I'm sure we've all experienced at some point or the other. But when you go to the waiting room, you're always wondering what the doctor's going to say. You're not really bothered about who's sitting next to you or how long you're going to have to wait. You're often very decompressed within your own mind and amidst your own thoughts. And these are the kind of spaces that kind of allow us to reflect and let us really tell you about the work. This is a supermarket that I had created again from recycled paper. This was a little challenging, as you can see that there are many colors, and it was a big challenge to find all the various colors in print. Since I don't get all of the same magazine, I'm always rummaging through many, many more. This is a pharmacy. It's very clinical and very sterile. Even though India is full of Ayurvedic medicines, we still depend on the pharmacy, and we still go there as a life-threatening drug and hope that it's going to change our life, or at least going to make us better sooner rather than later. And now we come to the airplane, which is another set I created. This work to me is very important because as soon as I moved to Hyderabad, my travels increased. I used to travel a lot between Bombay and Hyderabad. And it was that 1 hour on the flight that really allowed me to collect all my thoughts and decompress everything that I had been thinking. There was no cell phone service. There were no phone calls I was expecting. But at the same time, when you get onto an airplane, you almost disconnect from one space that you're leaving and start beginning to re-enter the next space. This is a recent work I've created, which is a movie theater. I'm sure we've all been to movie theaters and we all resonate with films at different levels, whether it's personal, private, or public. A lot of times we relate to movies because we feel we're a part of that, or we feel like we know someone who's been through that, or we relate to a place that you see on the screen. But yet again, even though you're in a very public space, the experience is always private. This is a series of 5 trolleys I did as an extension of the supermarket. I like to call them contained spaces. Every viewer who goes into a supermarket always comes out with its own set of things that they need to carry on for the rest of the week. A lot of times, each basket is different from the other and never can two be the same. It really interests me that even though we are all living amongst the same external environment, our reflection and our relation to them is so individually different. I'd like to conclude by saying another quote by Albert Einstein: "The true source of knowledge is experience." Thank you.